Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is good. It is currently the 22nd of June, Sunday the 22nd of June. I'm officially 13 weeks out as of today, which is very exciting. You join me on a Sunday as well. Usually my kind of main recording day is a Saturday because there's a little bit more going on. But yesterday was pretty much a carbon copy of last Saturday, which was the last video. And I was like, I don't want to film the same thing again. And I feel like people get a little bit bored with kind of rest day content as there's not too much to really discuss, and unless you're doing like a full day of eating or a bit of a day in a life or something, then there's nothing too exciting about a rest day. But you join me this Sunday morning with a coffee. This is the Nespresso Colombian. Best coffee from Nespresso. Hands down, best coffee from Nespresso. Lovely. But yeah, you join me this Sunday morning. Coffee, hydrating. I'm just waiting for the rain to stop. It's been a bit of an odd week in terms of weather in the UK. We were up to 29 degrees yesterday, and then I've woken up this morning and it's pretty much overcast and raining with a bit of a thunderstorm as well. So interesting stuff there. But a little bit of a prep update. I woke up this morning at 173.6 pounds. So new low weigh-in this morning, which is exciting. That's officially the lightest I've been in 6 years, which since my 2019 prep. So yeah, pretty wild. So in the last video, I discussed some changes that we made last weekend where steps and cardio were both increased. Now, I had a new low weigh-in at last Sunday of 173.8. But since then, my scale weight did kind of shoot up. So from the Sunday to the Thursday, my scale weight actually peaks at 176.8. So about 3 pounds up in 4 days, which was interesting. Obviously, like I said, it's been a bit hot in the UK this week, so I could have been subconsciously drinking more. It could have been a little bit of a more of like an inflammation response from just doing a little bit more. So it was a little bit interesting. So what we have done is we've swapped the deficit round. So we've pulled back the expenditure back down to where it was prior to those changes. So half an hour cardio and only 10K steps per day. But we've also reduced food. So 50 grams of rice has been taken out of both days. So 50 grams of rice in my meal 3 on a training day and meal 4 on a rest day. So that's about 200 calorie drop in food. But again, I'm doing less. So the deficit still kind of equates to what it was when I was doing more cardio, more steps, but with a little bit more food. So yeah, not a problem. Obviously seen a good response already with a new low weigh-in this morning. I know it's only like 0.2 of a pound down from last Sunday, but it's still a step forward, especially after the week I've had where, yeah, bit of a mind boggle, to be honest. When you're pushing harder and your scale weight's going up, it's always a bit of a mind boggle to kind of understand that, especially within a contest prep scenario when you kind of want the scale weight to go down. Now, obviously, scale weight isn't the only variable, but it is a good consistent tracking variable that you do want to, have a look at in terms of data, and it gives you a good kind of vision on where you're going and good direction on where you're going. But yeah, was a bit of a strange response. So we've swapped the deficit round. We're going to see how that works. We're kind of playing on the idea that it was mainly a stress response, especially with how I felt during the week as well. Like I felt very, very sluggish. I think Monday, Tuesday this week, I was hands down been the hardest days of prep, just feeling very, very draggy throughout the whole day. Now, usually I feel pretty good in the mornings, but yeah, it was pretty much since from waking up to going to bed, I just felt draggy the whole day. So yeah, they're the changes at the moment. I'm just waiting for the weather to stop raining. That'd be great. And then I can get out and do some steps. I'll box off about 3 to 4K steps in the morning, come home, eat my pre-workout meal, and then I will be in for push today, which I don't believe I recorded a push session for YouTube. So I might even mic up for that session and just talk you guys through it. I know some people love the training content and some people hate it, but I'll try and kind of do a little bit of a mixture of both in this video. Like I said, I've got zero structure for this video, so it's just going to be a bit of a rambling one, maybe a bit of one that's going to be clips just jungled together, but hopefully you guys just enjoy that type of content, and I'll have a little bit more structure for future videos because we've got quite a lot of things planned for the YouTube, not only client shows, but I've got client photo shoots. I'm traveling up to Ultraflex Rotherham to see AJ in a couple of weeks as well, so I've got David coming along for that. So yeah, there's going to be some really cool content coming on this YouTube. especially when August pretty much kicks off. It's going to be very, very exciting, and some high quality videos like the ones for Denny's show, they're going to be produced. There's also going to be some more vloggy stuff, and it's going to get a little bit more exciting as I get closer to the show. But being 13 weeks out at the moment, things are pretty much just in cruise control, just trying to drop body weight and trying to get into good condition, good stage condition, which is obviously the goal for this year. So I'm going to finish my coffee. I'm going to also drink the rest of my hydration product, and then I'll get some steps in. I might take you guys along with me for my walk. We shall see if it stops raining or not, and if not, I'm probably gonna have to jump on the treadmill for half an hour just to get those steps in. There we go. Right, pre-workout meal going down. Same as usual. Trained by JP, cream or ice. Got the cookies and cream flavour. This is the new one in rotation. If I had to say, my kind of favourite cream or ice flavours would either be custard cream or cookies and cream. Always good with JP as well. Digests very, very well. So I've got 100 grams of cream or ice, 40 grams of whey. We're probably going to go with the salted caramel whey for this one. With this cookies and cream or ice, it's either like double choc whey or salted caramel whey. It's just kind of whatever's in rotation, whatever I feel like. And then we've got 25 grams of nut butter. So pre, intra and post workout meals have not changed. The only meal that has changed was my meal 3, but as it's a weekend, my first meal is my pre-workout meal because I'm going to be training early. So I'm just shifting my meals around a little bit. So what I kind of do is actually just flip them over. So pre-workout meal, intra, post-workout, and then I'll have my meal 3, then my meal 2, then my meal 1. But obviously during the week when I train later in the evenings, it'll be meal 1, 2, 3, pre-workout, intra-workout, post-workout. Hopefully that makes sense. First thing is, I have about 4 different cream or ice flavors, and I literally only use 2 of them. Now that's probably just prep, but I tend to, like, when I order cream or ice, order one that I know I'm gonna like and then potentially try a new one. I'm not a massive fan of the chocolate fudge brownie and the sticky toffee pudding, but I will occasionally have them. So yeah, what I usually do as well is with cream or ice flavors, something people probably are not aware of, is the calories will change a little bit between flavors. So I think the custard cream one's like 320 calories per 100 grams, and the cookies and cream one is, wow Bell, really, is 340. So what I'll do is, if I'm having the cookies and cream one, I'll go for a whey option that has less calories, like this salted caramel one or the chocolate one. And then if I go with the custard cream or ice, which has less calories, then I will have the slightly higher calorie whey, which will be like the baklava or the sweet and salty popcorn. So I just kind of rotate like that, so it's a little bit more consistent, and so I'm not having kind of 20 calories more from just the same thing. So yeah, a little bit of a tip for anyone. If you are in prep and you are rotating a lot of flavors in terms of whey and in terms of like cream or ice and stuff, just make sure you are checking the macros, because they do change ever so slightly between flavors. But yeah, I'm going to make this pre-workout meal. Belle is about to attack the camera. She's a little rascal at the moment, absolute rascal. She's going through that phase. She's what, 6, 7 months old now, I think. And she's going through that phase where she's just being a pain all the time, like ripping stuff up, just moving things around, playing with literally everything she can, pulling up the carpet. So I've kind of already made the decision that potentially when I move out this house, I will probably have to get some new carpet because the cats have absolutely ruined it. But yeah, I'm gonna make this pre-workout meal, and then we're gonna get to the gym for push and biceps. Right, just arrived at the gym. Kate is next to me. Say hello to everyone. You missed out in the last vlog.
I know. Shame.
What a shame. What a shame. Anyway, like I said, in for push and biceps today. Got some Naughty Boy Menace pre-workout. You're training delts?
Delts.
Do you want to discuss your delt session?
There's not too much to discuss because I just trained delts.
A few laterals,
Yeah,
a few
quite
presses.
A few laterals.
just basically lateral raises.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's about 12 sets of laterals on different variations with a press.
You need it. You need it.
Yeah.
Kate needs bigger delts, so spamming delts for her today. But my push session starts off with some abs, and then it will go into some laterals, 2 presses, a fly, another lateral raise, and then some bicep work to finish off. And then we'll do some posing, do a couple rounds of posing, and that will be it. I'm going to mic up for this session. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but if there's anything interesting, I will obviously get it on camera and chat you guys through it. So yeah, we're going to get in there now, and hopefully it's going to be a good session. Just in the gym, already done a couple of sets of abs. Hopefully you can hear me okay, and this microphone's picking me up okay. But yeah, always kind of start majority of sessions with abs, just because when I'm fresh, I can connect with them the best. Little tip to anyone as well, make sure you're training your abs, do your midsection work. If you don't have strong abs on stage, it's usually because people don't train them. Yes, it is genetic, but I do find that a lot of people slack in ab training. It's similar to carbs, to be honest. So here, we're gonna do a cable crunch. What we're looking for here is rib cage movement, so spinal flexion and extension, right? So if I do it from the side, we're looking to keep our hips in a stationary position, but our rib cage is the thing that is flexing up and down. And that'll help you with your connection to your abs. Also, another little tip, exhale on your way down and you'll be able to crunch in a little bit harder. So yeah, I've already done 2 sets. Gonna go into my final set now, and then we'll get into some lateral raises. So it's about 2.5 hours now since I had my pre-workout meal. Intra-workout going in, 30 grams of polybride cyclodextrin, 15 grams of EAAs. Now I like to shot this pretty much throughout my workouts. I was originally drinking just my EAAs as a shot halfway through my workout or a couple exercises in, and then I would drink my carbs throughout, but I actually find it gave me a little bit of like digestive problems. So decided to shot it all in one, and it seems to have helped, and just drink water throughout the session. So that's going in, and now we're about to jump onto the first press of the day, incline prime. I might talk a little bit about how I load this as well between the sets, because people can get slightly confused with prime loading profiles. So yeah, once we get into it, I'll discuss that. Oh wow, that's bright. Right, so prime loading profiles. As you can see on the prime, there'll be 3 pins. Top pin is going to primarily load the length and range. Middle pin is going to make the resistance profile fairly matched throughout the whole exercise or throughout the whole movement. And then bottom pin is going to load the short range. Now, even though this is my first press, I still find it a little bit more preferable to load some of the length and range and then majority of like the mid to short. Still within this piece, like this incline prime, even if you load the mid peg, it's still gonna be fairly hard in the short. And obviously with where I'm at in prep at the moment, anyone who's been in a long dieting phase will know that kind of extra bit of oomph, like to lock out a rep, is very, very tough, especially when, you know, that range will fatigue earlier because recovery capacity is gonna be lower. So I prefer to split the loading for my top set, where I have 1/3 of the load on the top peg and then 2/3 of the load on the middle peg, and then my back off set I'll do a 50-50 split. And I've just found that works really, really well. Now, this doesn't really matter if you train like a pussy. And I mean that nicely, but you know, if you don't train with good intensity, don't worry, just load it all on the mid peg and get after it. But yeah, if you want to look at the more intricate things of training, make sure you got your intensity set first and your accuracy's in a good spot as well, and then look at these small little intricacies. But yeah, last week I think I held this for 5 reps, so we're gonna see how this goes today. I'm feeling okay actually, laterals were okay. Definitely feeling lighter just when I'm warming up pressing and stuff, but that's not an excuse to not hold my reps here. So yeah, we're gonna see how this one goes. Made a big mistake where I got the wrong wrist straps. I've actually lost my pair of wrist straps twice in the last 12 months. But yeah, I bought the short ones, and because I've got little baby wrists at the moment, they don't really tighten up how I'd like them. So they're pretty much useless when they're on here right now. Maybe just there for a little bit of confidence more so than anything else. Yeah, so they're literally doing fuck all. Right. Oh! Oh, yeah. So fairly happy with that top set. Match reps from last week. I think I'm like 2.5 pounds down from last rotation as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, back off set now. Got 10 with this last week. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully can match again. And that'll be some good performance on this prime incline. I still can't go over these bloody wrist straps. Like, why not just extend the Velcro? I feel like that guy right now. 2 tripods, filming on my phone, and I'm also filming on the DJI. You'll probably notice in this session as well, and to be honest, over all my pressing, I only really do neutral grip pressing for chest. And the reason for that is I just connect better with it. I've been down the road so many times of, you know, trying to get strong at pronated pressing, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't align well with me. I've got quite long arms, and I find that when I'm pressing like that, I get so much elbow flare, and it causes some front delt issues and some shoulder issues. So pretty much all my pressing now is neutral grip. And to be honest, I ran that in my off season for a long time, probably a good like 12 months, and it was the best my chest has responded. So just remember, when it comes to training, find what works for you. So I remember a couple of years ago, you couldn't do neutral grip pressing because it only worked the triceps. And now I'm doing it for chest. A bit of sub-focus. K9 before this as well. Any of you love drum and bass, K9's the GOAT. Hands down. Anyway, back off on here now. I'm probably not going to do any more talking in this video, or whilst I'm in the gym anyway, just because I want to keep focused on my session. And although, you know, I know it does provide good content for you guys, it can take away the focus a little bit of my session. So I'll still record the rest of the exercises and stuff, but I'm just going to crack on now and try to remain focused. This is going very, very well. Happy with this session so far. So if I can keep this kind of positive momentum going throughout the whole session, perfect. There we go. We are back home after a very productive push and biceps session. Feeling it now though, definitely feeling it now. But yeah, happy with that session. Pretty much all numbers held, which is very, very good considering pressing is getting quite challenging at this moment in time. Right, so that's a post-workout made. Like I said, 100 grams of cereal with some more milk, chicken, kimchi, and Nando's sauce. Don't really know what this video is going to be. No structure. just going to roll with it and see how it goes. I did put a little bit of a question box up on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at Max Dyson Brown. And I will get back to a couple of these questions throughout this video. I'm going to eat my post-workout. We're going to chill out for a little bit, go for a walk, get the steps done for the day. And then I've got my best mate's baby shower to go to, which is exciting. So yeah, we're going to do that and I'll catch you guys in a bit. I'm going to get to some of the questions that are on my Instagram from throwing up a question box this morning. First question from James. Mr. James likes it hard Linford. What a guy. A podcast OG. Even though, James, every time, last couple of podcasts, when we've put up a question box, you haven't asked any questions, mate, so I don't know what's going on. But he said goals for this season, XO. To be honest, mate, just be happy with the way I look on stage. I know it sounds ridiculous, but 2022 wasn't really happy with the overall look. And this year is about kind of redeeming that and coming off stage and being happy with what I presented. And obviously, you know, it's going to improve show to show, but that is the main thing. You know, I'm not really, obviously I have got some kind of like, I would want to place, like no one competes to lose, right? Or no one competes to be a number, but the standard of natural bodybuilding at the moment is ridiculous. And it's so good to see, but am I at that standard yet? Who knows, right? It doesn't, like, I can't choose who turns up. But yeah, obviously, you know, I want to be within the mix. I want to be compared. That's the main thing. You know, I want to be compared to the top guys. I already know areas that I kind of need to improve upon, but I'd still like to be up there. I think, you know, making first call outs would be a massive achievement. But I'm not basing this prep on where I place it in a show, because I just don't think that that is the right mindset to go into this prep. And I think I've spoken about this before, but in 2022, that is literally the mindset I had. I was like, okay, I'm going to come back as a junior, I'm going to win a qualifier and, you know, be out there at the British and try and, you know, win the British title. And realistically, like, I was nowhere close to even doing that, you know, and I put a lot of pressure on myself in that prep. And this prep, I'm just kind of going through the motions and actually enjoying it and being very, very present throughout the, you know, the days, even when it's tough, you know, just still being present and enjoying the process. So yeah, hopefully that kind of covers that question, mate. Sorry, it's nothing too exciting, like, oh, I'm going for a British title or a pro card, but realistically, I'm not there yet. And I've probably got a few years of growing yet before I would even be close to doing that. I'll probably be in Masters over 60s. You know, that's probably when I've got the biggest chance of winning the show. What do you think, Kate? Over 60s or over 70s? How long do you think I need?
I think over 60s might be a push.
Yeah, we might need another like 35 years of gaining, and then we might win a class, and then hopefully by like Masters over 60s or 70s, I'll probably be the only one in the class anyway. So
yeah,
beat the system. You know, just keep doing it until you're in the Grand Masters.
Harder, not harder.
Exactly, that's it. Obviously, I'm joking, by the way, and massive kudos to any Masters competitors. I think it's crazy how well those guys get into shape and what they produce. So yeah, all kudos to them. Samuel Kingston's asked, how's prep feeling, mate? If I'm honest, like, I think I spoke about this morning, but starting to feel a little bit preppy now. I'd say over this past like 7 to 10 days, I've started to feel it a little bit more. Usually the past few weeks, I've felt a little bit kind of draggy just in the evenings when I've kind of done everything, like my steps, my cardio, trained, eaten all my meals, and I kind of sat down. And that's when I felt a little bit like, like my energy levels have dropped. But definitely, you know, this past, I would say, week, I've felt it a little bit more. But at the end of the day, you know, that's what's going to come. Like, I've got lines in my ass. Like, realistically, I'm not going to be feeling great. But there's still more to take off. There's still, you know, I would say probably anywhere between 12 and 15 pounds to still take off. So yeah, like it's always going to be tough. Like, preps are not easy, and they they test you. And at the end of the day, you know, I know what to expect. Like, I've done this. This is my third competitive season. I know how I'm going to feel in a prep. And realistically, like, so far, this has probably been the easiest prep I've done. Touch wood. There's probably going to be a time where I'm going to have to push and it's going to get tough because I'm obviously aiming to get in condition that I've never been in before. But yeah, that's kind of how prep is at the moment. But yeah, if I get any more questions or any good ones, I will put them in this video. We're going to probably have to go for a walk now because we're on a bit of a time limit. We've only got a couple hours until we've got to get to my my mate's baby shower. So we're going to go for a little bit of a walk and I will see you guys in a little bit. Right, okay, so it's been a few hours since I picked up the camera. Admittedly, I'm not used to recording on a Sunday. So I actually kind of forgot that I was recording today. So after the last clip, me and Kate, we walked and got a coffee, which was lovely. Finished off our steps for the day, and then I went to my best mate's baby shower, which was again really, really nice. And then I've just had a good call with a client as well. So it's been an overall very, very productive day. But I have got one question I want to answer on this YouTube video, and thank you to everyone who did put in their questions. And I'm sorry I haven't got to everyone, but it's least favorite part of bodybuilding. Now, for me, I find that my least favorite part about bodybuilding is a game of opinions, and I understand that, you know, even regardless if it's a competitive level or not, you know, there's opinions about everything. There's methodologies about everything, and I think one thing that does really, really grind my gears is people who are not open to listen to new methodologies or to certain ways of doing it. Like, there's plenty of ways to get lean. There's plenty of ways to train hard and get a good physique. You just got to train hard. That might be my opinion. Might be a bit of I might be a bit contradicting myself right now, but you know, there is many ways of doing this, and at the end of the day, you know, it can get a little bit frustrating at times when you find that, you know, there's so many opinions out there and people are telling people they should be doing it this way and they have to do it this way, or they shouldn't be doing it the way they're doing it. And a lot of people just comment on such small percentages and variables in bodybuilding, where for the majority it doesn't really matter. And usually these people as well they don't really have any skin in the game. I don't want to sound harsh when I say this, but you know, I find it funny, and I suppose it's with every single sport, but like, if you've never been in a competition prep before, you've never done a competition prep before, and you've never stepped on stage, and then you're picking apart people who are on stage, do you really have skin in the game to do that? Like, I don't know. It's one of those industries where, you know, you have to be open to opinions, and it is one of them. But, you know, if you don't have the skin in the game and you haven't done it before and you haven't got the experience, then you be really kind of giving your kind of comments and your opinions across. I don't know. But that is something that it's kind of my least favorite side about bodybuilding, is sometimes it can get people can get over fixated on certain methodologies and, you know, be very kind of like, no, that way's wrong and it has to be the way that I do it, which is, you know, not the case majority of the time. But yeah, that's kind of it for this YouTube video. Apologies if it has seemed a little bit scrambled. Like I said, there is a lot of really cool content coming this way. But if you have, you know, watched the whole video, make sure you comment microphone. As I've got this here right now. I'm going to keep doing this because I did raspberries on the last one. And thanks, Dad, for commenting raspberries, by the way. I appreciate that. And I will do your compression boots review at some point. And I know I do actually get a lot of people say to me in the gym in person, and also message me on Instagram asking the benefits of them. So I will actually include a little bit of a review on the old Pulsio compression boots at some point in a future video. But I'm going to leave this video here. If you have enjoyed this one, please make sure you leave a like, comment if you feel like it as well. Make sure you subscribe because, like I said, some really, really cool content is getting planned and it's going to be a very, very exciting year. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.